Jackals TV is back, and today the Jackals will be looking to avenge their only regular time loss, non-overtime loss of the season against the Strangers. There you see the Strangers on the right side of your screen in the blue jerseys, Jackals on the left, way down in the crease there in their white jerseys. Let's have a look at the lineup here for the Jackals. They will be missing Jay Lawrence, David, John, and Gary Pabla. One spare out today, Al Karpinski here to help out on defense. Like I said, they lost to the Strangers last time. That was a game that the Jackals led 3-1 going into the third period and ended up losing 4-3 in regulation. So we'll see how this one goes. Let's head to the first period. And as is common for the Jackals, they're going to get off to a bit of a rough start. Puck along the wall in their own zone, gets thrown towards the net. Gary Mizuno deflects it wide. It goes over to Darshan, who's going to bump it back behind the net to Gary. He's going to whip it back up to Darsh, but it's past him and out to the point. The point shot comes in, and there's a player in the high slot that gets a nice tip on it and deflects it past Trevor, and the Strangers are up 1-0. Strangers looking for more off an offensive zone draw. Al bumps the puck behind the net over to Gary, but it doesn't quite get there. The Stranger forechecker gets it, throws it out front to a player all alone in front. Trevor has it, and then the rebound gets batted away by Darryl out to the point, but it's kept in by the Strangers. They put it down to the bottom here, and then eventually it's going to come back to this point player again. He puts a slap shot through, and Trevor has to jump on that rebound before a Stranger can get there and put the rebound past him. Finally, an offensive zone draw for the Jackals here, and that puck gets whipped out to the point. Bob gets it, and then takes a slap shot towards the goal, and there's a screen in front, Jay and a defender, and Jay can't quite find the rebound. There's a disrupted play in the neutral zone. Strangers do eventually get it into the offensive zone, but Bob swoops in, picks it up, puts it over to Troy, who goes up to Darshan, who then is going to shovel it across the ice over here to Riley, puts it over to Bob, who bumps it up to Jer. So good job moving through the neutral zone. Gets disrupted there on that side, but Riley swoops in to pick it up, goes hard down the right side, slides it across to Darshan, who's at the back door, and it looks like that maybe goes off his skate, and then he sweeps it home. Goalie doesn't even move. And a goal from the goal line there is going to tie this game up at 1. Strangers are looking to retake the lead off an offensive zone draw. It ends up down in the corner. It's going to get thrown out front. It bounces. This player swoops in and whips it on net, but Trevor is down low and makes a save. Minute and a half left here in the first period. Battle along the wall. You see Gary there battling two Strangers players. It does go up the half wall, get thrown back again behind the net, and there's a player alone in front. The puck gets through Bob, and that guy sweeps it on net, but Trevor again does well to come across and keep this one tied at 1 as we go to the second period. Early in the period, we see a Strangers pass go past their player near the blue line. Troy's going to retrieve the puck down low, put it up to Bob along the half wall, and he's going to see Darshan well behind the defender. He's going to stick handle, forehand to backhand a couple times, and then flick it up over the glove of the goaltender and give the Jackals their first lead of this game, 2-1. Rewatch the play there. It's very, very close to being offside. Hard to tell one way or the other. When you slow it down, the frame doesn't quite catch it. But either way, the referee calls it onside, and the Jackals are ahead. And then right off the ensuing faceoff, Darshan's going to look for the natural hat trick. He's going to throw that puck towards the net. It's going to bounce off the goalie's blocker. Then he's going to put it out to Gary. And then this puck is going to bounce to him here on the left side, and he can't quite get control of it to whip it towards the net. Jackals starting to take over in this game after getting outplayed in the first period. Here comes Gary Mizuno down the left side. Tries to throw it up front. Nobody there, so the defenders gets it, whip it around the wall, and it goes up, and Al tries to keep it in, but it gets chipped past him, and it's a breakaway, clear cut from the other end of the ice, and that player strangely goes to the backhand, even though he was coming in on that left side, and Trevor stays with it and knocks it down. And since Trevor is so good at breakaways, let's give him another one. Again, a long pass with the player behind the defenders. Al comes back late. A nice save there from Trevor, and then Jackals recover to clear away the rebound. Now here's Aaron engaged in a puck battle along the half wall in his own zone. Bob comes in and gets it and throws it up to Rob. Looks like the forwards are going to change, so Rob's going to go in slowly and allow for that to happen, but Bob sees that happening, so he comes up and gets the pass from Rob and then takes the shot, and it's off the blocker and stick and wide of the net. Here's Darryl now, still looking for that elusive first goal of the season, harassing a defender and creating a turnover. Then Gary Mizuno passes to him, and he's got a great look from in front, but for probably the 5th time this season, his shot hits the shaft of a defender's stick and is deflected over the net. Strangers have been able to take advantage of getting the puck behind the Jackals defenders in the neutral zone in this game. So here's another one down the left side, cutting through. Trevor makes a save, and then there's a glorious chance with a lot of net, but that hits Gary Mizuno's skate. And then a third opportunity in front that Trevor comes across and gets with the leg pad. Here comes Rob, back the other way. He's cutting through the middle of the ice. Then he's going to find Stuhar coming in late, who then bumps it back to Bob at the point. He's going to have to outweight that forechecker, then get around another one, come down the middle, take it to the backhand. He's going to go wide over here, throw it back to where Aaron is. It gets deflected, but does make it through, but Aaron can't quite get control of it to throw it on net. Then he regains control of it, and it ends up on Bob's stick in front, and he quickly takes a backhanded shot low that the goaltender gets a piece of and deflects wide. Second period, winding down. Al's going to retrieve the puck in his own zone, bump it up to Jason Davis there, who plays it towards the middle, and then Lloyd just sets it up on a tee for Darryl, who backs the defender in and then rips a shot high over the blocker. Somehow avoids the defender's shaft of his stick, and it's in and out so quickly that the play isn't stopped immediately until the referees actually figure out, yeah, that was in. And Darryl finally gets the 0 out of the goal column, and we have a 3-1 lead for the Jackals going into the third period. And if you remember what I said earlier, this is the exact scenario the Jackals found themselves in last time they played the Strangers, up 3-1 and going into the third, and losing that game 4-3 in regulation. So they're looking for some insurance here. There's Stuhar doing his best work on his knees in front of the net, jamming away at a loose puck. Aaron there too, but they can't get it to go through the goalie. The Strangers maybe remembering how that last game went, looking for another breakaway opportunity. Al gets back though to turn this one into a 2-on-1, and the shot is ripped up high over the net. Goes up to the half wall, where Rob and Aaron are trying to get it out, but it gets bumped down low back to the Strangers player. Al gets it again, and he whips that around to this wall. The defender pinches in to get it, then just throws it wildly in front, and this player is there surprisingly, and he gets it, and he just sweeps it towards the net, and it finds its way through Trevor, and alarm bells will be ringing for the Jackals. It's now 3-2. And here's a glorious opportunity for the Strangers to tie it up. Pass out front, deflects off. Looks like that's Darryl's stick right to a player coming in late, but Trevor makes the save. Here's Bob picking up a loose puck in his own zone, skating it out until you can finally see him here, coming down the middle. He goes to the left side. He's waiting for Darryl to go into that slot. So then he puts it through to him, and then Darryl throws it up front to Lloyd, who tries to lift it up over the goaltender's arm and into that empty piece of net there, but the goalie makes the save. So it remains 3-2. Strangers still pressing for that tying goal. Here's a point shot by number 7. It gets through. It's loose in front. Al flicks it up. It runs into another Strangers player. It's a bit of a mad scramble there in front. Ends up back at the point. They throw it again towards the net, but it's blocked by Gary Mizuno in front. And then he has Jer behind the defenders, and he can't quite split the D for the breakaway. Strangers not really getting a lot of opportunities here. Here they try to throw one through to the net. Bob picks up the rebound, throws it up to Aaron, who's going to push it off to Rob, who has some speed down the right side. He's going to weave and confuse that defender, throw a backhand towards the net. It is wide, but he's going to pursue it, and then he's going to throw it out here to Troy, who's going to go around this defender and throw it back against the grain, and a tough toe save there from the goaltender. So it stays 3-2. Time running down, and the Jackals are going to go behind the net and hold it there, and they're going to hang on, and they're not going to blow this one. It's going to be a 3-2 victory. So they avenged their only regulation time loss. We'll have a look at the stats. There you see Darshan with those 2 goals to start the game, and Darryl getting his first of the season. Let's see what that does to the stats now on the season. There you see no change at the top, although Jared did pull away from Rob into sole possession of second place. We'll have a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the week. It's just been a short week thus far, so only 3 games to look at. Notable there, the 3 Bears doubling up the Garbage Men with an 8-4 victory, and the Sociable Weavers somehow tying the Bad Dogs 5-5, which will likely make their wives very proud. But let's have a look at the standings now, given those results for that week. You're going to see now the Jackals, there they are, in first place now, leapfrogging ahead of the Garbage Men with their win this week, and the Garbage Men's loss. The 3 Bears tight there, tied actually with the Garbage Men in second place. So let's have a look now at the upcoming schedule for the week. A busy week considering this is only half over, and the Jackals have one more game still this week. Tomorrow night on Thursday against the Knights, a team near the bottom of the standings. And there you see 3 Bears and the Garbage Men having some weaker opponents. So it might stay tight at the top of the standings. So as I said, 2-game week for the Jackals. We'll see you shortly for the next highlights.